Let me guess. You have been sticking to your schedule, being consistent, working out on time, eating on time, going to your trainer on time, and working out. And you've been doing this for months, and you're still not seeing the results you want. If that resonates with you, if that sounds like your situation, you're in the right place, okay? And first thing I want to say, if that is you, is welcome to the process, okay? That is exactly what you should be feeling right now, okay? Especially if you're young, if you already had those beginner gains where you were playing football and you were training and you were putting the weight room, you're putting in the work in the weight room, and you started getting bigger all of a sudden like a couple months, but then now you're not really getting like as bigger as you want. Like you're not putting on the same amount of muscle as you did when you got the beginner gains. Well, that's the process, okay? And I'm glad you clicked on this video because I've been playing football my whole life and I started taking it seriously. I mean, I've always been serious about it, but I started taking it seriously around my senior year in football. And whenever I started lifting weights, I gained a whole lot of muscle at the beginning, but then at the end, like it just came on super slow, okay? And that happened with my muscle. And then skill development is pretty much the same, except skill development when you're working out a lot, whenever you're being super consistent, hitting the field 2 to 3 times a week, and you're doing that every single week, and you're being intense, it's not like you're not going to see skill development. It's going to keep going up like this, like this, like this. And I'm one day you're going to be working out with somebody that you never worked out with before, or you're working out with a trainer, or maybe you're doing some one-on-ones after you haven't really practiced with anybody else. You're going to see that growth like this, okay? So it's going to be like this for a long ass time. It's going to be like this for a long time, and then boom, okay? Exponential growth. I know we've taken that in algebra and geometry, okay? I know we've taken that. I know that you know what exponential growth is, okay? And that's what getting better at football is, okay? That's what getting your diet right is, okay? Is being able to be consistent, lift weights consistently, and hit the field consistently, okay? And if you want to get faster, like that's what it is. It's exponential growth. So this is you right now, okay? This is you. Like you're getting a little better, but it's a ticking time bomb to when it's going to go up, okay? You just got to keep on being consistent, okay? Think of the story you're creating. That would you rather be, look, I got two people as an example. Would you rather be person one that got results super fast and then saw that he wasn't getting as good as fast as he wanted to, and he gives up? Or would you rather be person number two, where he saw results super fast, but he kept going because like he knows that he's supposed to keep going, and he's not dependent on his results. He's dependent on the daily actions to put into to get the results. He's not attached to what he sees into his numbers, okay? And he keeps going. Even though he's not seeing too much results, he keeps going, okay? Both of these guys are right here. Person one will stop. Person two will keep going. And he still, even if he keeps going, he still won't see results, but it's just a matter of time. And I can't tell you when that time is, but it's a matter of time until it keeps going. Would you rather be person one who gave up, or person two who kept going even though they weren't sure if they were getting better? They weren't sure how this is supposed to go, but they kept going because they know they want to be a disciplined, consistent man. And they know that football is a journey. Or if you play basketball and you're watching this, you know that basketball, that this is your calling for this moment, is to get better at basketball. That's what resonates with you the most, okay? If you're that person number two, then you're gonna separate yourself, okay? And you may not see it, but you may not see that you're separating yourself, okay? Other people are, though. Other people are seeing it, seeing the fact that you're putting in the work. You can be so locked in on just you putting in the work that you forget how good you are getting, okay? And how disciplined you are becoming. I'm telling you, people will look at you from an outside view and see you getting better, but in your mind, you really don't see how much you're getting better. You're just focused on putting the discipline and consistency in, okay? And that's what I need you to do, okay? I need you to detach from the outcome. Detach from what you see whenever you film yourself when you're working out, on what your numbers are. And instead of putting your focus like, oh, I want to run a 4.440, I want to run a 4.540. Put the focus on, okay, I'm going to go and I'm going to run full speed sprints twice a week. And before I run my 40s twice a week, before I run my 340s for the day, I'm going to get a super good dynamic warm up in, and I'm going to put my feet through the ground as fast as I can, as hard as I can. Okay, because that's what'll get you right for those 40s. That's how you're supposed to warm up. Hitting those A skips as hard as you can, hitting those B skips as fast as you can, those C skips, and then those high knees, putting your feet in the ground as hard as you can. Put your focus on the daily actions, apply metrics. When you jump off of the plyo box and you're doing drop jumps, so you drop and then jump up, you're jumping up as high as you can. You're putting as much force in the ground as high as you can. Okay, that's what you're focused on. You're focused on putting in the actions and not what the end result is. You can't really control the end result, okay, but you can control your actions. Your actions will determine the end result. Your actions, your genetics, your rest, your recovery, all of that. So I need you to change your perspective. So you feel like nothing is happening in your situation. You feel like bad things are happening. Not bad things, but just like nothing is happening. Like you just feel that way, okay? But I need you to change your perspective on this, okay? I need you to change your perspective on when bad things happen to you, when nothing has happened, when failure happens to you. In one of my other videos, I talk about how failure, like what people call failure, it really isn't failure. Failure is just giving up, is not putting into action anymore, okay? Failure is not hitting your goals because you put the work in and you just barely missed them. You still put the work in, okay? But whatever. I talked about it in another video. I'll probably talk about it in a future video, but I need you to change your perspective. And whenever bad things happen to you, whenever you're not seeing the progress that you want to see, ask yourself 2 questions. 1, what can I learn from this situation? What can I learn from today that will make me a better man going to sleep, a smarter man going to sleep? How can I be a smarter man, a better athlete before I go to sleep today? What can I learn from this, okay? And if you do that every single day, you write down what you learned, how you became a better man today, how you became a smarter man, a smarter athlete today. You write that down, just that one thing down. That'll help you so much. Just being mindful of what you learned, of the adversity you've been through, and write down what you learned about yourself, what you learned about the process, what you learned about the next steps you need to take to get better. Or maybe you have a hypothesis about how you should go about a certain thing, like how you should have your diet, okay? Maybe if you've been eating too less amount of food and not enough protein, maybe be like, man, I'm gonna try and eat more protein. I'm gonna see how that works, because I hear a lot about that on the internet, okay? That you need to eat more protein, okay? Try that out. Okay, what did you learn? Write things down, what you learned every single day. And I'm guaranteeing you, like, you'll be so much smarter than a lot of people, because I'm guaranteeing you, your competition isn't doing that. And if they are, it's probably not even 1% of your competition that's writing down what they learned every day, okay? So that's number 1. Write down what you learned. Number 2, this is changing your perspective. This isn't a question. Actually, it's just a thought. Change your perspective on when bad things happen to you, when failure happens to you, when you're being consistent and nothing's working. Change your perspective, okay? If I make it through this, this is it. If I make it through this, I will have more stories to tell, okay? I'll have a cooler story to tell, because in the moment, people think you're delusional. But after you put in the work over years and years and years, and you see success, people are going to be asking you, people are going to want to ask you how you got so good, how you did it. And you just say, I trained when nothing felt right. I didn't really see any growth, but I still went out there. I still put in the work because I know that's the right thing to do. I know that not taking action is the wrong thing to do. Okay? And like that just shows a different level of character, a different level of consistency, a different level of discipline. Okay? And you want to be an NFL athlete. If you play basketball, you want to be an NBA athlete. That's what they do. They put in the work in. They put the work in when they don't feel like it, when they're tired, when they don't see no progress. They put the work in. Okay, so it comes down to what you want to be, who you want to be out of life, and take those actions towards whoever you want to be out of life. Okay, you got to get clear on your why. You got to get clear on like who you want to be, like what your ideal self-image is. Get clear on whenever I'm 30 years old, whenever I'm 35 years old, who do I want to be? Like, what do I want people to say about me? What do I want my bank account to look like? Where do I want to live? And then like, what do I want to act like? What do I want my personality to be? What do I want people to say about me? Am I disciplined? Am I consistent? Do I put the work in? Okay. Can nobody stop me? Am I dependent only on myself, not dependent on anybody or anything? Get clear on your why. Get clear on who you want to be out of this life. Okay? And while you're doing that, think of the successful people in this world. You look at the successful people, the people who have made millions throughout their life, people who have made millions playing football, the people who have accomplished so much, that have made it to the Hall of Fame, that have won many Super Bowls, that have won the MVPs, that have put up 1,000 receiving yards, 1,000 rushing yards, 2,000 rushing yards, over 20 touchdowns, through 50 passing touchdowns. You think that they had times, you think they never had times of them putting in the work and them not seeing results? You think every single day they saw that they didn't get better and they were consistent, they felt like nothing's working? You think they never felt that? No, they felt that, and they probably felt that more than you have. Okay? But they kept showing up. They kept showing up, whether it was passion or whether it was just them knowing that it's the right thing to do, is just to show up. Because a true failure is inaction. It's not seeing progress. It's inaction. Okay? So keep on putting in the work. Put your focus away from the outcome and put it to the input, because if you just focus on working out, doing the right workouts with the right intensity, with the right intention, going to the field, working on your technique, you do that, and then you do that for a year from now, you will be a completely different person. Completely different person, completely different football career. All of that. Completely different. Okay, you'll be way ahead of your peers, because some people can't be consistent for over a year. And if you can do it for 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, then we're talking about, okay, you might have a shot at the league. If you keep it up, you might. And like, just that might is strong enough for you to keep going. Okay? So think of the successful people in the league. The successful people you look at, whenever you think the word successful people, whoever comes to your mind, think of them. You think they haven't had you think it's been easy for them. You think nothing felt like working. Like, some of them been broke before and then now they're super successful. They got cool stories, okay? And if everything worked out for you, like everything you touched and everything was so easy for you, you wouldn't have that cool story. And I mean, don't you want a cool story? Don't you want to have people talk about you and be able to tell your kids cool stories, and tell the girls you like cool stories? Because girls like storytelling, okay? Girls like you telling them stories, okay? Okay. You choose. Okay? So you gotta change your perspective on all of this. Change your perspective on when bad things happen, when you feel like nothing's happening, nothing's working. And maybe you have to do the scientific method, okay, where you make an observation, you have a hypothesis, and then you experiment. Okay? If what you're doing isn't working, do your research and see what does work for other people, and then see how it'll work for you, and then take action on it and see if it works or not. Simple. Okay? But if you've only been working out and doing the stuff for a couple weeks, then you got to keep going, okay? Try something for 6 months. Commit to something for at least 3 months and see if you're growing or not. And if you're not growing after 6 months, then it's time to really switch it up, okay? But so if you like this video and if it resonated with you, then I'm pretty sure this video about how you can be the best football player on the field, how you're going to be the best player this season, I think this video will help you as well.